Hey guys, got an awesome video I want to talk to you about. This is going to be awesome. Oh, let's get into it.
Like this and like that and like this and like this.
Alright, well that was painful. Moving past that, in this video we're going to talk about fin regrowth. We're going to talk about, can we grow fins back once they have had issues, they've been damaged, or they had an infection and the fins eroded away and you're worried. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what causes it. We're going to talk about what it looks like when they start growing back, so you don't get confused, because this can confuse you. If you don't know what you're looking at, you're going to start medicating again and think they have a problem when in fact they don't. So make sure you watch all this video to get all this information. This isn't something I see too much online. I wanted to do a video about it, and we're going to talk about other things too. We're going to talk about causes, the different ways to aid in getting the fins to grow back. So let's jump right into it. Stay tuned. So what are some of the things that can cause damage to your fins, which it could lead to fin erosion and completely eliminating the fins on the fish altogether? Or it can be a lot of things. It can be anything from stress to damage to poor water quality to other fish. Whatever the case may be, this happens at times. So will these fins grow back? Yes, they will. And now I want to talk about how we can aid the fins into growing back. In my opinion, one of the best things that we can do as a first line of defense, even when we're medicating fish for other things, is we want to go ahead and start using the aquarium salt. Aquarium salt is fantastic for a broad range of different fish diseases and fungal infections and things like that, and it's more natural. Instead of jumping right to the meds, let's put some salt in there. Salt is going to help aid in healing. It's what it does, along with adding electrolytes in the water, and it helps reduce stress, because guess what? Stress is one of the contributors that can contribute to fish disease, fungal infections, and if you have fin rot in a fish, it can help make things worse if they're stressed out. So the first line of defense we want to do is we want to throw in aquarium salt. Protein. You want high protein in your fish tank to help aid regrowth of the fish's fins. The protein I'm talking about is high quality proteins you find in high quality food, such as frozen foods, such as Northfin Extreme. These are like marine proteins that are of the most high quality you can get, that's going to help aid the fins to grow back in these fish and also help their growth altogether. And that goes for any of your fish, any of your aquariums. Do not confuse this with protein in cheaper foods. That type of protein that's not marine protein will do the opposite for you. A lot of that protein, you're going to run into bloat, and you're going to run into what's a dropsy and things like that, and you're going to start pine coning your fish. You got to be careful how much protein you feed your fish when you're using cheaper foods. Speaking about foods, another great food that will help in fin regeneration is Daphnia. Hikari sells a nice little bit of Daphnia. You can go anywhere and get sprinkled in there. Daphnia is a great food to feed fish to help regrow their fins after suffering some fin loss. This is a big one, keeping your water quality high. What you can do in the event of having fin loss and you're trying to regrow it and get your fish back to normal health is you can do maybe daily 10% water changes or weekly 20 to 30% water changes. If you're not a person that does weekly water changes already, you might want to consider adding this in to help aid in regenerating your fish's fins. And obviously another good thing that we can do to add in is, if you want to go to the meds, erythromycin is a great broad spectrum antibiotic you can put in there. Will definitely help regenerate the fish's fins and get them back to health. Okay, now what I want to talk about is, let's say we get the fish fixed and we want to see if he's getting better. How do we know he's getting better? Let's talk about it. Generally, after a short period of time, you're going to start seeing like a clear white tissue around the area of the fins that you was having trouble with. Do not, and this is the part I was talking about at the beginning of the video, do not confuse this with more fungus. This is a clear white tissue. That's the actual tissue of the fin regrowing, and this is a good thing. You want to monitor that, keep an eye on it, and make sure it continues to grow back into a full fin. Now, however, if you do happen to see red spots in that area, that's a sign that it's still infected, and you may need to continue treatment with whichever way you want to treat the fish, as we discussed. And I guess this would have been good to put at the beginning of the video, but well, how do we know that we have fin rot? What does that look like? Well, you're going to see raggedy, rigid fins. You're going to see split fins. In some cases, you're going to get a secondary fungal infection. So now you're going to start seeing the white cottony patches on there. And this, by the way, is what totally erodes them away to nothing. You're going to see things like just just starting to fall apart, pieces of them coming down and falling off to the substrate. It's pretty much common sense that you're going to be able to tell something's wrong with the fin just by some of these signs alone. So let's talk about something else regarding this subject, and that is, don't feel bad. There is not a fish keeper in the world, I'm talking about from the most experienced to the newest beginner in the hobby. You're going to run into problems like this, and if anybody tells you they never have problems like this, I'm going to show you a liar. Because stuff just happens, and sometimes it just happens out of nowhere. No matter how quality your water is, what kind of high quality food you feed, sometimes things happen. Sometimes other fish damage your fish, which starts the problem and turns into a secondary infection. It doesn't mean you're a bad fish keeper. It's a learning experience. This is how I learned a lot of my stuff. So what do? You do the same thing I had to do, because I just went through this a few months back with a pleco and a goldfish. I had to separate them, and I had to find balance with that pleco because he had attitude, and he still has attitude. So I put him in a tank with another fish that has attitude, and the result was perfect harmony, a great balance. So in the end, let's keep the water quality high. If you're a fish keeper, you're watching your fish anyway, so monitoring your fish isn't a hard thing. Unless you get a lot of them, and then it can kind of go downhill a little bit, but you still spend time mostly with every tank and watching them. I know I do. High quality foods, don't overfeed, keep your water quality high, and always, if you watch my channel, I have videos on this, keep medicine as backup in aquarium salt. Have it around all the time. It's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it type of thing. So stock up on this stuff, because you never know in this hobby when a problem like this is going to arise. But that's it, a quick video on fin regeneration, will they regenerate, and what that looks like, what causes it, what to look out for, and how to prevent it. That's it. Thank you for stopping by. Let me know what you thought of this video. Leave comments below. Share any experience with me that you may have had in this subject. And I certainly appreciate your time. And thanks for stopping by. Be safe for the rest of the week. Till next video.